Greetings, I'm Dr. Val, and today we're going to talk about mental illness, the next pandemic. You know, mental illness is nothing new. We have been in a battlefield for the mind for centuries. We called it being eccentric, then we went to artistic, and then we said we were crazy. But back in the Bible days, they were referred to as lunatics, as in Matthew 4:24 and 17:5 for my Bible believing followers. But today I have a special guest. His name is Vishal Manjaria, and we have been friends for over 15 years. And I want to invite him to the stage. Hello, Vishal. How are you?
Hi, Valerie. So nice to be on your show. And I'm so grateful that you invited me on. And I'm really looking forward to sharing some great insights with the people that you know and the people that know them and the whole world.
You know, mental illness is nothing new. Is the biblical it says there's nothing new under the sun. But we had been friends for over 15 years, and I didn't know that you had that battle, that silent battle going in your mind. Can you kind of share um, how it all began and how long it had begun for you? Because I knew you as a business professional, and I mean your work is impeccable.
Thank you so much, Valerie. And before I share my answer to that, if you're watching Valerie's show, what I highly recommend and suggest is because she has such a good heart, she has great intentions, she really wants to help you and the people that you know. I strongly suggest that you start sharing her videos so that she can help more people and help the people that you know, and you can contribute to that help too. So, to answer your question, Valerie, I have been struggling and suffering with mental health for over 25 years. I have had 6 severe episodes throughout those 25 years. And I've been in and out of mental health hospitals in Canada, a couple of mental health hospitals in Canada, a couple of mental health hospitals in England, in a city called Leicester, where I'm originally from. And yeah, it's been brutal. I was diagnosed with almost everything you can imagine. It started off with severe anxiety, and then I started having insomnia, so not sleeping for months on end. And then I started having panic attacks, led to clinical depression, suicidal thoughts, and had a couple of attempts as well. And then I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, with schizophrenia, potential schizophrenia, and I had episodes of psychosis. And psychosis, if you don't know, is like an altered perception of reality. And for
Hmm.
me, in those moments, it was being extremely paranoid, starting to see things, hallucinations, all kinds of strange things. And yes, it was very, very tough. Each episode lasted anywhere from 6 to 24 months on average. And it was very tough, extreme stuff. And it was basically, if I could describe it, if there was hell, that's what it was. It was going through
Hmm.
hell and back, hell and back, hell and back, hell and back multiple times. And I came to realize that I don't want to suffer anymore because I was getting to points where I was ascending, I was doing well, and then having this handbrake on, which held me back. And then I would get through it somehow, and then get held up again, and then get held up and go up and up and up and get held up. And I was just like, this is not what life's supposed to be like. I've sure I'm successful. I have multiple businesses. I've done a lot of charitable work. I've helped a lot of people. I've done lots of fascinating, unusual things. Traveled to
Yes.
56 countries around the world, and it's like something's going on here. So yeah, I really went through extreme amounts of suffering, and yeah, it was very, very tough.
Well, what was the aha moment? Was it your family or friends that pointed it out to you, or you just like self diagnosed yourself and said, I know something is wrong? Something, what were there any signs outwardly? You had your inward battles, but what was it outwardly that caused you to say something's wrong?
Yeah, so I was always very self-aware. Ever
Hmm.
since I was a child, I was very aware of things. And very often I was good at hiding the fact that I was unwell until a point where I wasn't functioning. And then I realized, look, everyone can see that I'm not functioning the way I should. So I should discuss it and open up more about it. And yeah, family were very supportive. And they, of course, even though I'm in my own challenges and battles, I have very good family around me. They cared, they loved me, they were supportive as best as they could be. I had a few friends in my life who were always there, very caring. I think having that support network and those people around you just to keep you there, like keep you aware and knowing that you're okay. We're here. I know you're going through your stuff, but we're here with you. We're here. We'll do our best to be with you as much as possible. And
I always,
when I was in there, it was always me that had to deal with it, even though there were people around it. And sometimes there was no one around. I would just be in it all alone.
I found that most of the individuals that I talk to or that, communicate with me that they had a mental breakdown or they are very artistic where their mind is racing a mile a minute and they need drugs to slow it down. I mean, Michael Jackson had that problem. Prince had that. And I think if you talk to most of those individuals we know as celebrities, you will find that they are brilliant individuals. And
Hmm.
autism doesn't mean crazy. It's just that you function at a different beat, but your mind is actually more superior.
Yeah, very true. In fact, Valerie, is this show going to be on Facebook, on YouTube? It's on Facebook and YouTube,
It's going
right?
to be on all the social media platforms. So, because like I said, I want to get it out to as many as possible. And then, you're going to share it to your audience because we need people to be aware of what's going on. I know here in the US, it's just been one thing after another, especially with domestic violence. And then they turn around after they kill somebody or they have an episode, then they say it's mental illness. And
Hmm.
that's why I did it so that they can get off with a slap on the hand. And I said, I want people to understand that there is a difference between mental illness and a con artist.
Yes, true. It will be really nice if we put this. I want to put this suggestion in because I think it will help a lot. As you're watching this interview, I really recommend in the comment section you interact and you engage, you share what's good
Yes.
for you, what's helping you, share other ideas, share things that are going to help you help other people. So as Val and I are speaking, I really want you to engage and communicate in the chat section, in the comment
Yes.
section under this video, so we get a lot of engagement because that communication will make a huge difference rather than you just sitting here listening to this wonderful interview. Be involved in it so that we're together. So yes, as many times
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that.
yeah, and you hit the share button, share it with other people. Because as Val said, this is the new pandemic. It's here. So many people are affected by it. And the more awareness we get about and the more we share ideas around how we can beat this thing that is mental health, I don't even like to use the word mental health. I actually think that mental health is a gift. It's a hidden gift. It's a special ability when it's harnessed. What does that
Mm,
mean? A lot of people are going through mental health issues. They
yes,
have these hidden abilities. They just need to learn how to harness it. And so
absolutely.
and that's not to say if you don't have mental health conditions, you don't have special abilities. You have special abilities for sure. It's just about uncovering them. At the moment, the mental health thing is on the rise, and actually every human being has mental health issues. Every
I
there's
was
not one.
about to say that. I was
Different
about to say
levels.
that, Vishal.
Yeah, different levels. Every human being deals with mental health challenges in different ways. So yeah,
It's just
please
like every
communicate.
individual has cancer cells in their bodies, but they accelerate at different rates for different people. So it is a thing where you have, I mean, I had an episode when I was in my 20s because I was so overwhelmed with domestic violence that I had panic attacks and fear attacks where, it was just like I was falling apart. And at the time, I had 4 children. and I had an episode, didn't know what it was, how it came about, but different anxieties will bring on different things. And it
Mm,
does not mean that you are crazy. It just means that at the moment, your mental ability to comprehend and to be able to communicate and live out what's happening with you is in a crisis.
yes.
That's Dr. Val's opinion.
Yes, yes, very true. Very true. And the crisis will eventually, if you're willing, lead you to the most incredible, the most beautiful, the most special existence that you never even imagined. And you will start to create a life that is beyond amazing, beyond amazing.
Absolutely. Vishal, can you share with individuals when and how it was that you began to focus on what was needed for you to get the help you needed?
Val, your image is just gone. Maybe you want to adjust that.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, just
Okay.
repeat the question one more time for me, please.
Okay. If you could please share with individuals what steps you took to move to the next level so that you could get the help you needed.
Sure. So throughout the last 25 plus years, I tried so many different things, so many things, and nothing really worked. I'll just give you a few things. I must have tried 30, 40, 50 things. I lost count. I tried hypnotherapy. I tried to go to spiritual organizations. I tried to go to massage therapists, Ayurvedic clinics, acupuncturists. I went on different courses, different workshops. I listened to different material. I tried so many different things, unbelievable amounts of things. Like I say, I can't even remember all of them. And about 10 or so years ago, just over 10 years ago, my coach and mentor at the time, and who was my business partner as well, he was almost like a father figure at the time. He introduced me to his coach and mentor, who was, I had no idea how amazing it was. I could tell there was something amazing there, and everyone spoke very highly of him. And I was just so willing, so excited. And then when I went to this class, I was just amazed. I was very excited and I was discovering things that I had not heard before. I wasn't quite comprehending it at first, but then I got closer to this wonderful, amazing mentor, teacher, coach, father, friend, just like just unbelievable. And we became very close. And I continued going to his classes, and then I was having some struggles and some episodes. And then I explained to him the challenge, and he told me things that somehow deep down inside I could relate to. That was so true. Just didn't want to quiet, fully take it on.
Hmm.
And so it was just, I never forgot that. I never forgot that moment. It was just with me because it was so true. And then over the 10 years, I had some ups and downs, and even with that particular coach and mentor, the new one that I took on, I took my previous coach, mentor, business partner, father figure on. I went to the next level, and I was just so amazed by what he was teaching, and I had a few ups and downs within myself. And all along, he was with me all along. It was so beautiful. Have you heard of the Valerie? Have you heard of the footprints? That post, I think, is a biblical thing. There's footprints.
Yes. Yes.
You know it, yes. So
Yes.
it's basically, I won't say the whole poem, but in short, there there was an individual who went through life and went through so much struggle, so much suffering, and he met the Lord and asked the Lord, when I was going through all my suffering and strugglings, where were you?
Right.
When you look back at the picture,
There's
there's
only
only
2 feet.
2 feet. And he said, that is
That's
when I
when I
carried
carry.
you.
Hmm.
That is when I carried you. Now, look, I'm not Christian. I'm actually not very religious. I, I appreciate every faith. I've been to most places of worship, and I've done their practices like the church. temples that my parents are Hindu, so I was raised as a Hindu. I just never really practiced the religion as such.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to churches, temples, gurudwaras, mosques, Buddhist centers, meditations. I went to a lot of different places of worship. I never classed myself religious, classed myself spiritual. And there's certain things in every religion, in every faith, in every belief system, let's call it, where there are truths that you can pick up on.
Yes.
And it's so beautiful because all the things came from one in the end. All the rivers lead to one. All
Lead
the
to
rivers
one.
lead to the sea. So it's just, yeah, it's so beautiful. But then I realized that as time was going by, I tried so many things, trying to figure out going in and out of mental health hospitals. And then I knew at that moment that everything I've tried with even all family's help, friends' help, one of my best friends, he was always there with me as well. It's all wonderful and I love them and they're beautiful, they're special. There was only one person who I knew could truly help me help myself through this massive challenge. And I knew if I handle this problem, which is described as mental health, which is actually what I know is as a hidden, powerful, beyond powerful special ability once harnessed, there was only one person, and it was him. So I reached out to him and I said, I'm so willing. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. So I made the plan with him, and then I was just willing to do whatever it took. Whatever it took, I was going to do it. So I came to South Africa about on February the 3rd. So it's 70 something days, 73, 74, 75 days, something like that. And I started my journey with him, and I was just going through stuff and doing certain processes. And this 25 plus year battle in 6 weeks, gone. From the root,
Wow.
tough, painful, challenging, sure. And actually, when I look back on it, I'd do it all over again.
Now, does
And
this involve like
pulled out.
drugs? Does
Val, I
this involve
pulled it.
drugs or sharp treatment or anything, or just conversation?
I'll tell you in a moment. I pulled it
Okay.
out from the root, and that thing will never again affect me.
Wow.
I am above it. It's nothing now. It's gone. It's so amazing. What did
Wow.
it involve? Yeah, what did it involve? So I'd been on medication a few times in my life. Not each episode, actually almost every episode I was on medication for a short amount of time, anywhere from 1 month to 6 months maximum. And it was fine. It helped deal with the symptoms, but didn't quite solve the problem. Actually, over the years, it was getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And in the beginning, I would allow myself to suffer for a very long time before I got on the medication. And then family said, look, there's no need for you to try and be a hero. Just get on the medication. Why are you suffering? Because deep down inside, I knew the medication wouldn't resolve it. I just didn't know how at the time. So 1 to 6 months. And then this last episode I had, for 3 weeks, I was doing incredible things to try and help, and I just couldn't beat it. So I went on medication faster than any of the other episodes. I stayed on medication longer than any of the episodes. It wasn't working anymore. So then I realized that this doesn't work. The medication doesn't work. So obviously when I had that last episode, that's when I reached out to my coach, and the process that he wanted me to go on, and it was done very, very systematically by my will. And then very, very slowly came off the medication. And 1 month before I was coming to South Africa in Cape Town to do this process, I came off my medications, all of them. There was a point where I was on 3-4 medication, 3 of them mental health, and another one was an antibiotic for acne that I had, which is massively improved. So I came off all that medication a month before. And then when I came here, I went through a series of processes, 0 medication, 0 alternative plant stuff, none of that nonsense. It was all natural. But it was guided by him. It was a specialist process. And you could say it was a combination of physical, mental, and spiritual, a combination of all 3 of them. Very
That sounds
powerful.
so
Very
powerful.
beautiful. extremely powerful,
Yeah.
and very effective. Very, very effective.
So
In
you would
fact,
say basically that it was a coach that kind of introduced you to yourself?
yes, but not just any coach. It's people are not going to like that I say this, but there's a lot of nonsense out there in the self-development, personal development industry. Why am I allowed to say that? Because I'm in that world. I mean, I was helping a lot, but even some of my stuff was a little bit of nonsense, even though I got overall great results in my class. Some of it was nonsense. It was just stuff that I'd learned from someone else that I didn't really understand. I was parroting it. Like it's like
Mm,
robotic, not really aware
right.
of it. And unfortunately, there's a lot of nonsense. So my coach is so unique. There is no being that I've met, and I've met a lot of the big names and famous speakers. I'm friends with some of them. Some of them know me. I know them. Not all of them, but some of them. And truly, there is no one, no one, no one like him. And the most wonderful thing is that he guarantees results.
Hmm.
Guarantees results. And I've really come to realize how special and amazing he is. And so I've had a partnership with him for a few years, and that's now starting to grow and grow, and we're helping more and more people.
That is a good thing and powerful thing, because so many times when you go to mental health facilities and sane asylums that we've known to be called, that the first thing they want to do is numb you. They want to
Yeah.
give you medication. So like their thing is to slow down your brain so you don't think about anything. So we talked in length a few days ago about the spirit man.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So before we talk about the spirit, Val, this thing about mental, and I don't like to speak badly about mental health places, because at the end of the day, even though I had my challenges, I had a place that I could go. So I'm not completely against the mental health hospitals. They provide help for people if they're willing to go. Doesn't really solve the problem,
Right.
but give them somewhere to go. It gives them a little step that they can take.
You need to go
So I
somewhere.
Yeah, to go somewhere. So I don't want to completely bash them. Of course, changes need to be made within them to really rehabilitate people. What I really want to do is first just break down what mental health is, because I didn't even understand it until a couple of months ago. I just, again, it was a parroting robotic thing. So when I started looking at this thing of mental health, I broke it down. I said, what is mental? So I said, what is mental? Mental is relating to the mind or of the mind. And then health is a way of caring and curing and dealing with that particular thing. So, and it's a place. So, yeah, mental. And then the word hospital is a place where you go to get care and help and heal. So it should be that someone who's going to a mental health hospital should be going there to get cured of this mental health condition or this thing that's bothering them. What we need to actually do is not create mental health centers. We need to create special ability centers. Because now we take these people who are struggling with this thing that they can't harness and take them to these special ability centers. And now these amazing beings who think there's something wrong with them start to discover that they're actually wonderful and special and beautiful and perfect. And anything that's not those things is not them, it's something else. So we take them to these wonderful special ability centers. I'd love to help someone to help me start creating these centers, and we will eventually get there. And I'm sure my coach is going to support with that too, and we will get other people coming to help with that. And then people will truly know what they need to do in order to turn this condition and illness into something special that becomes their gift that they use to help other people. It's a little bit like this, Val. If anyone's ever seen X-Men, they get these people who are so-called crazy, but they're not, and they take them to these special schools, and then they elevate them and they help them bring out their superpowers. And then those
Right, right.
Those superpowers are then used to fight all the evil, the negativity, the darkness, the so-called demons. They use those things to fight those things. And that's what we want to start creating.
You know what? When you were saying that, I started thinking about all the little children that are so brilliant. I mean, my
Yeah.
grandson at 2 years old was doing math. Three, he's speaking in other languages that we don't know what he's saying, but then when we follow him on his little pad, he's saying exactly what the words are and what it means. So it's a brilliance there. And my daughter has been cultivating that, and I think that's what's needed more is the cultivation of the mind and the spirit of individuals, because they're like head, soul, head, mind, head. So it has to be cultivated in a place where the two meet in the middle so that you could be able to function productively.
Yeah, very, very true. Very true.
It sounds simple, but it is hard because you have to plug in to where that, and I think that's where you're saying the coach comes in, because that coach is listening to you and can help identify your gifting.
Yes, very true. And this other thing, I just want to give you a view of the mind that most people don't think is the mind. Most people think their thoughts, the voices they're hearing, they're feeling, their emotion, they think those things are the mind. The mind is actually a series of pictures, lots of pictures. If I asked you to go back to a moment where you felt really happy, you could go and find that picture wherever you look for it in your mind, and then you will bring that and you will be able to see what's going on in that picture. And so you can say that the mind is actually a series of pictures. It's so powerful. So you asked about the spirit man. Let's look at the idea of the body, the mind, and the spirit, or however you want to see it, the body, mind, and the spirit. So you have this thing called the body, and you look at this, you see this framework here. You see the face, you see the muscles, the bones, all that stuff, the body. And then you have the mind, which is these series of pictures. And most people identify so much with the body, they think that they are the body, or they think that they're their mind, these series of pictures. And what they forget is what's actually running these things,
Hmm.
and that's the spirit. The spirit is a nothingness that is running the mind and the body. And I know when I say nothingness, it's like, what the hell is nothingness? Nothingness is actually everything. Because you, the spirit, are so powerful, you can control your mind and you can control your body. It's so powerful. It's like a driver in a car. You are the driver and you are driving the car, the mind, the body. It's very, very powerful. You're the pilot of your plane.
Yeah, it's just like, we worship God. It's a spiritual thing. God is a spirit. And then when we worship him, we're worshiping him from spirit to spirit. We have this flesh that, go to church and do all this and pray, but it's our spirit that's communicating with the spirit.
Yes. And remember, you are the spirit. You are not your body. You are not your mind. You own your body. You own your mind, but you are the spirit. So it's not that I have a soul or I have a spirit. I am it. And theoretically, a lot of people know that. But in reality, I am it. I am the spirit. I am the soul. Not I have a soul or I have a spirit. I am it. And then everything else, I have it. It's something that I own. When I say this is my arm, I don't say I am my arm, yet people think that they're their body. You have an arm. You have a mind. something you own, something that you run, something that you operate, something that you control once you learn how. But you are the spirit. You are running those things. You are the one in charge.
Right. You know, in the Bible, it states in John 4:24 that God is a spirit, and those that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So it reiterates what you say, that we are a spirit that must worship him. We
Hmm.
communicate with him because we are spirit beings.
Yes,
So
very true.
it's still that, you know, like you said, you've done different religious, but they all wind up into one place. So then for to deny that there isn't a spirit is false.
Hmm. And it's up to each person, because you don't want to just take on something that someone says. You have to look yourself and see, does it make sense to me? Is it real for me? If
Hmm.
it's true for you, even just being open to the idea of asking myself, just exploring, who am I? Who am I? And then just exploring and ask yourself and playing with that. And then when you come to realize that everything that is negative, everything that is not you, is not the spirit, because the spirit is perfect, it's beautiful, it's special, it's powerful. And you see the spirit in people, in people's bodies, even. You see that when you look at their eyes, you look at their face, you look at the way they move, the way they conduct themselves. You see it. You can even see sometimes there's light radiating from people. People are beaming, and you can see it. It's so beautiful. And
Hmm.
all the negative things are related to other things, the body, the mind. They're not you. You are amazing. You are beautiful. You are special. You are powerful. You are perfect. Anything that is not you is not the spirit, something else.
This is powerful. We have to have you back so we can continue. We're going to have my co host with me, Dr. J.R. Thicklin. He will be joining us the next time so that we can get to get more in depth with this walk that you're talking about. And meanwhile, don't forget to subscribe to Hot Topics from the Soul. And also, you can find Vishal on different social media platforms. And so, until then, as I said, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.